Hey, thanks for joining me to color. Today we are going to be working on this adorable Whiff of Joy image called Skater Ben. This is an unmounted stamp, so I have put in your kit a piece of easy mount so you can mount the stamp and then just stamp all you want. I will put a link down in the description box to the card kit and all the supplies I used. I would love for you to come shopping with me. If you have a question, leave me a comment and I'll make sure to get back to you. Otherwise, I have already stamped my image on Neenah 80-pound Solar White cardstock with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. So let's color. Okay, since we're going to be cutting this little image out, we're not going to outline it today. We're going to start with the skin. For that, we're going to use E11, E01, E00, E000. And for his cheeks, I'm going to use R02, R12, and R11. I'm going to start with my E11 first, and let's go down here and we'll do his arm. So I'm going to take my E11 and I want to go right along his sleeve here of his pants. I'm just going to go up and around, and then I'm going to give him a little bit of an elbow, or where his wrist is right here, and then I want to go a little bit underneath of his finger. Then I'm going to take E01, I'm going to go ahead and fill the finger in, and then I just want to brush my E01 right along the edge of my E11. Same for his little wrist that I gave him here. And then I'm going to take E00, and the same thing, I'm going to brush it right along the edge of my E01 and fill in some of this area. And then I'm going to go over it with my E000. Okay, we're going to go over here and do the same thing to his other arm. So I'm going to start with my E11. I'm going to go right along the edge of his sleeve, and then let's go right along the bottom of his arm here, and then I'm going to bring it up just a little bit onto his thumb, and then he's got a little dark space right here where his thumb is, so I'm going to give that a little dab of color. Then I'm going to add E01, so we want to touch down on the edge of our E11 and flick out here into his arm. And then we'll add E00. Soften a little bit of my line here, so I'm going to go over that back part of there, and then we're going to fill it in with our E000. And then with this one, I like to go over the entire section. And then if you wanted his skin to be darker, you could go over it a second time, but I want him to be pretty white, so I'm going to leave him like that. Next, I'm going to do his neck, so again, I'm going to grab E11, and then E01 to fill it in. And then we'll go up here and we'll do his face. So again, grab E11, and let's do his ear first. So I'm going to come down the side of his face and then bring this up kind of a little triangle. Same for this side. Well, since his head's kind of tipped over here a little bit more, I'm going to bring it up almost to the top and just leave a little dab there for our E01. Then for his face, let's go with a little swash of color right here. He's got his eyebrow right there, so I'm going to go around that. And then I bring this color down around to the bottom. And same thing over here. And then let's go ahead and give a little bit of color up here in his bangs. Okay, and then I'm going to grab E01. I'm going to fill in his ear, both sides. And then I want to take this color, and just like we did with his arm, I want to just flick out here into the center. And I'm going to bring this color from his hair down here, kind of even with his eyebrow. And then we'll add E00. and then E000. And I'm going to leave a little bit of white there because we're going to go over it a second time. Now I'm going to grab RO2 for his cheeks. Now I'm going to give him a cheek right about here. Same with this side. And then I'm going to go over that with R12. Bring it out just a little bit more. Soften the edge. And then R11 to soften it even further. And then if after I put my next color on, if I lighten it too much, I will just come back and add a second coat. But for now, I'm going to grab E01. And I'm going to color this right along the edge. Same for this side. Only this time I'm going to go up here and do another second coat up there in his bang line. And then I'm going to do E01. Let's go over those cheeks. Over this cheek. And then E000 to fill it in. And I'm thinking he needs a little bit more color on his cheek, so I'm going to grab RO2. R12. R11. And then I'm going to take my E000 and go over the cheeks the second time. And let's just soften them a little bit. Alright, for his hair, let's use E19, 17, 15, and 13. I'm going to start with my E19. Let's go ahead and start over here on this side. So I'm going to add a little bit down here next to it where it's touching his ear. And I'm going to kind of flick my pen. I'm holding it more upright so I can get some little tiny streaks going here. If I can get my pen to touch the paper. And we'll go up here. And we'll add a few in here. And then right here he's got a little bit of a swoosh. So I'm going to go ahead and add some color right in there, right next to the swoosh. And then we want to work our way up the bangs. And then I'm going to give him a part right here where this cute little hair stops right here. And I'm just going to come away from my part with some streaks. I think I'll bring a couple of these down a little bit more like that. Okay, and we're going to go over here and do the same thing on this side. So over here we're going to, let me turn them a little bit more. I'm going to go like this. And then up here he's got a little spot right here. And then, let me turn him a little bit more. I want to add some right here to his part. And here's kind of swirling around like this. So I'm going to try to get my pen to kind of swirl around with that so it's not completely straight. And I think I'll add a couple more up here. Next I'm going to add E17. So let's go ahead and just start right up here. And again, you want your swirls to go in the direction the hair is going. And over here, let's kind of go working around there in different directions. And then over here, let's add a little bit, fill in this little curly Q right here at the top. And then I'm going to add E15. And come over here on this side. And then I'm going to go with E13. And then a little bit over here. And then I like to go back with my darkest color, which was E19, and add just a little bit more shadows in here. Yeah, let's go over here on this side. And I better bring it a little bit around here. And then this time, I thought he looked really cute with some white in there, so I'm going to leave it just like that. I also want to color in his eyebrows, so I'm going to use E15 to just give them a quick little dab of color. So he's got a little tiny point pointing out right there. And then there's one right here. Then we're going to do his shirt. For his shirt, we're going to use YR 18, 15, and 12. And then for the accents, we're going to use W1, 00, and my colorless blender. So I'm going to start with YR 18. And let's just go right along this sleeve. And then I'm going to give it a little bit of a indent right here where his armpit is going to be. And then we'll bring this color up into this little swoop right there. And then I want this color to go down that side of his shirt. And I'm going to be doing his shirt twice, so I'm not worried if it doesn't blend this time. Next, we're going to add YR15. And again, I put a little line right there, so I'm going to exaggerate that just a little bit. And next, we'll go with YR12. And I'm going to leave a white streak in the middle since I'm going to be doing it a second time. So now we're going to go again with YR18. And I'm just bringing it out a little bit further than I did the last time I did it. I got that line there so it gives me something to set my pin down on and pull off of. Then we're going to go with YR15. And again, I'm going a little bit past where I left this color last time. And then I'm going to fill it in with my YR12. And I'm just going to swoosh clear across the entire shirt. And then for his sleeves, we're going to use W1. So there you got a little bit of his sleeves showing underneath, so I'm going to go ahead and paint that right away. And then over here, let's do on the bottom and up the sleeve, and then around his collar a little bit. Same for this side. And then I'm going to add a little bit of W00, and I just want to touch down and pull up just a little bit. And then I'm going to take my colorless blender and just go over the edge of that. And then I'm going to grab W1 a second time and go over this inside section, so it's going to be a little bit darker. Add a lot more color in there. Or you could grab a different pen too and make it a lot darker. For his pants, let's use BG 57, 53, 34, and 11. So I'm going to start with my BG 57, and let's go ahead and color in this little pocket over here. And then I'm going to bring this color right across underneath of his shirt, and I'm going to color in this pocket. Then let's go down his fly, and there's a line here that I'm going to use already, and continue down to the end of his pants, and then I'm going to bring this line out away from his pants. And let's come down the inside of his pants, down to the cuff, and let's go ahead and give it a little bit of a wrinkle right here, because there's a little dip in from his pants there. I'm just going to use that. And then down here where his cuff is, I'm going to make it have a little wrinkle right here in the middle. Okay, and then on this side, let's go down this side of the fly And then he's got a couple little lines here already. And then I'm going to use this back section of his jeans to color in that. And then I want to also exaggerate, here's a line, so I'm going to exaggerate that. And then for his cuff right here, I want to again add a little bit of a line there. And over here, it kind of dips in, so I'm going to do the same thing over here. And let's do a little bit on this side. And I'm going to be doing the pants a second time, so I'm not worried about it blending right away. So I'm going to go ahead now and go with BG 53. So I just want to go over the entire BG 57 I just laid down, and we're going to exaggerate that by pulling it out here into the center. And I'm going to go with BG 34. And this, I'm going to go right out to the edge of where I put my BG 53. And then I'm going to fill it in with my BG 11. So I think I'll leave just a little dab of white right along the edge of his pants. And I'm going to start with my BG 57 again. So let's do his pocket, and then right along his pants underneath his shirt. And I just want to go right back over those lines I already did. This time though, I'm going to make, when I pull away from the edge of his pants, I'm going to make them just a little bit wider. Same for this side. And then we're going to add BG 53. Let's bring that out here like so, about halfway. Same with this side, about halfway. Then we're going to add BG 34 on top of that. I'm going to go just a little bit further past my BG 53. And then I'm going to fill it in with BG 11. For his shoes, let's use E59, 57, 55, and 53. I'm going to start with my E59. And let's do each side of the sole. And I'm bringing in quite a bit because we're only going to use two colors down here. And then I also want to use this color on the top of his shoe. So let's do that. And I'm going to kind of bring it over a little bit more along the where his sole is connected. And I'm going to add E57. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the bottom. And we'll add some up here. And then E55. and then E53 over the entire top. And I'm going to go back with a second coat of all these. So this is a E59. E57. E55. And then my E53 over the entire thing. For the skateboard bottom, let's do E79, 77, 74, and 71. And I'm going to bring this right under his thumb and then down the edge of the skateboard. I'm going to kind of dab around the wheels too there. And we'll bring more over on this side. Then we're going to grab E77 next. And we want to bring this color out. And since this is the bottom and it's underneath all this stuff, I'm going to go ahead and fill it in. Then I'm going to go with E74. And then my E71 to fill in this bottom section. I'm going to go ahead and swipe clear across the entire skateboard. So for the rest of the skateboard, we are going to use R89 and R37, and then the wheels are going to be YR23 and 31. So let's start with our R89, and I'm going to do a little dab of that right next to his hand, and then I'm going to go down along just the edge and try to do just a little dinky line right next to the brown, and then down here, and then I'm going to take R37. And I'm going to fill the rest of that in. And if you go out of the lines, it's not really going to matter because you can, we're going to cut him out. But you don't want to color everything else red. Okay, and I'm also going to do the axles. So let's do R89. Let's do a little dab over here and right here. And then we'll fill it in with our R37. Then for the wheels, we're going to do R23 first. So let's go ahead and do a little C right here and then bring it up from the bottom of the wheel. And then R31 to fill it in. And I'm trying to try not to touch that red because if you touch that red, it's going to bleed. It'll come back with you onto your yellow. I think I'll do the gold again, so let's do YR23 one more time. And then one more time with our YR31. So there is our skater bin all colored up. Didn't he turn out cute? And again, you're going to cut him out. And after I cut him out, I used my, what is this? A Memento Dual Marker in Tuxedo Black, and I used the big fat end to go around the edges so that it would be black and it wouldn't have any white if I didn't cut it perfectly, which I'm not very good at, so I usually just cover it up with this. So here again is my finished card. So on my finished card, I have this little scallop piece back here, and then this second scallop piece and the top are popped up on pop dots, and then he's popped up on pop dots. And then I laid the sun down. You get the whole sun, but I laid the whole sun down on here where I wanted it, and then I trimmed it off. You'll have to do that yourself too, so that you can put the whole sun on there, or you can trim it like I did. And I'm hoping that I got these perfect for you, that they're just going to stick them together and stick them back on there. But didn't he turn out cute? And then I had a request. I did this card because someone asked me to do a boy birthday card. And boys are really hard for me because you can't put pretty flowers and pink and all that stuff. So I thought he would be perfect. But here is my example of the birthday card. So I colored him exactly the same, and I did the hills down here the same, only I put my sun underneath the cloud, and then I stamped my birthday sentiment onto that cloud. So either way, you can do whichever you want. Oh, and also I did for this brown back here, I dug through my old Stampin' Up! Background stamps and found one that looks like linen, and stamped it with antique linen distress ink. I stamped it off on paper and then second stamped it onto this, so it's just got a little bit of a texture on here. So it's not so plain. So you could also do that to this one, stamp the brown before you add all this stuff in and make it look really cute. So I hope you had fun coloring with me today. If you have a question, go ahead and leave me a comment and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.